Last night we told you about a potential deal between China and Iran, a $400 billion deal, the kind of money that China is going to pump into Iran for the next 25 years in return for cheap oil and more access. Tonight we'll tell you about the first fallout of that deal. India is out. India is out of the Chabahar Rail Project in Iran. It's a 4-year-old project, but Tehran has now decided to go it alone. Tehran will construct the railway line on its own, citing delay in funding. What does it mean for India's strategic plans in Iran? Here's a report.
This is the Chabahar port, Iran's only deep sea port and India's gateway to Central Asia. The port was inaugurated in 2017. It not only sidestepped Pakistan, but also counterbalanced the Chinese-controlled Gwadar port. India had an ambitious plan. Offload shipments in Chabahar, load them on trucks and trains, send them to Zahedan in Iran, go further to Zarang in Afghanistan, and take the goods to the Central Asian republics. For this plan to be successful, India needed to develop better connectivity to the port. Enter the Chabahar-Zahedan railway line, a 628-kilometer long track connecting the port to Zahedan. India and Iran agreed to jointly construct this railway line. The deal was reached in 2016 during Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Iran. 4 years on, Tehran has thrown New Delhi out of the project. It now wants to construct the railway lines alone. Reports claim that Iran has already inaugurated the track-laying process. Why is Iran going it alone? Tehran claims New Delhi was delaying funding. Is Iran bluffing? Not really. The project was being stalled because of US sanctions on Iran. They were waived in 2018, but finding suppliers and partners continued to remain a challenge. Banks too were reluctant to provide loans. So Iran is now constructing this railway line alone. It wants to complete the project by 2022. How does this impact India? It is a big roadblock in India's strategic ambitions in Central Asia. It loses its influence in the trade corridor. It is also a setback for India's bigger plan. The railroad was supposed to be a transit corridor to Afghanistan. After connecting Chabahar to Zahedan, the railroad was to be linked to Zarang in Afghanistan. This plan may now need a rethink. The loss is diplomatic too. It is a sign of Iran losing confidence in India, and India's loss is China's gain. The development comes at a time when China is finalizing a $400 billion strategic partnership deal with Iran. Not surprising, given the two countries have a common enemy, the United States. What does Beijing gain from the Chabahar development? Firstly, a tighter grip over Iran, a country with a population of 80 million, 60% of whom are under 30. Secondly, Chabahar's loss is Gwadar's gain. The two ports are just 172 kilometers away. Gwadar already has better connectivity, and China is unlikely to be shy of promoting it as the go-to port for trading with Central Asia. Thirdly, by kicking India out of a project in Iran, China gets to poison one more of India's allies. Fourthly, China gets to carve its way into trying to influence the affairs in Chabahar. What's next? India must learn from the episode. New Delhi cannot take its allies for granted, especially when the expansionist dragon is on the loose and desperate. Bureau Report, WION World is One.